So why the RC231 was the right move by DJI? Coming right up. What's up, all you drone maniacs? Welcome back to Drone Logic for your drone and tech related info from my point of view. So we all know that ever since the Mavic Air, that DJI has been using that standard RC231 controller, and for the most part it's gotten rave reviews. I think it's a great controller. I think that it has advantages over the traditional folding controllers that we've seen from the Mavics. It has more benefits than drawbacks. One of those most notably being the battery life, because it obviously is bigger, have a bigger battery. Now, when it comes down to the Mavic 3, we know that it was packaged in as a static controller with the Mavic 3, and this is where so many people are having the issues. They're saying that DJI should have packaged in a more premium controller for a premium product, a flagship drone. People want a LCD screen in it, which for me personally I don't see it, because when I first got the Mavic 2 controller, Mavic 2 Pro controller, I thought that that screen was good, the LCD screen with all the telemetry. I thought it was great, but after a while I have to realize I don't even look at it. When I'm flying my Mavic 2 Pro, pretty much my focus is on the screen and not the telemetry, because the LCD screen, because if there's nothing on there that's not on my phone or tablet, whatever device that you use for your screen, all your information is on there. So me personally, again, I can't speak for anyone else, but me personally, I don't even look at the LCD screen anymore. So for me, it's not a big deal. For so many people it is. However, there are two reasons why I think this RC being a base controller was a good move on DJI's part. Now, the first part is cost. So the more of these controllers that DJI's produce, the cheaper they will be. And if you're using them for all of your drones, then you got to produce more of them, and then they're going to be cheaper. Now, I'll give you an example of this. I remember once I was looking up the price of the Mavic 2 controller. And this was like a year and a half ago, something like that. This was around the time when I bought my Mavic 2 Pro. And I was just pricing out what a second controller or standby controller would be. And it was in the neighborhood of somewhere like the average price of a brand new one was like $350 just for the controller. Well, I also looked up the price of the RC231, and I've seen the most expensive price I've seen for a brand new controller at this point is like, I think it was like $170. I've seen them as cheap as $80, $70 brand new on eBay as well as Amazon. And the reason why they're so cheap like this is because they're producing so many of them. So again, cost is an issue. And if you look at the Mavic 3, the number one issue that so many people have with the Mavic 3 is the cost. So can you imagine paying an additional $200, possible $300 more just to have an LCD screen in your controller? What would you choose? Honestly, I would go with the lower cost. Now, the second reason why I believe the RC, the base controller, is so good is flexibility. Because if you have multiple drones using the same controller and they can all connect to the same controller, well then that gives you a lot more flexibility. I mean, if you have a Mavic 3 and a Mavic Air 2S or Mavic Air 2 or any combination of the drone, let's say you have 3 drones that use the controller and you travel, well, you can take just 2 controllers with you, or possibly even 1, because they do have a longer battery life than those folded controllers by the fact that they have a bigger battery. So you can literally bring 1 controller and you can control them all. Now, what I would like to see is for DJI to come up with to an update so that it's easier for you to switch back and forth the drones with that controller. It's just as easy as it is using with the small controller. You can select on your screen which drone you want to control, and you can easily seamlessly switch to that one, and that would go a long way, again increasing flexibility. But the fact that you can fly all of these drones with just one controller, to me, is all. If you're a person who's all about efficiency and getting in the air quicker and being flexible, that would be music to your ears. It's music to my ears, and this is why there's two reasons why I think DJI going with this standardized controller was so great. Now, if DJI, I don't know, but if DJI knew that they were going to go with this standard controller, then perhaps maybe from the beginning they should have added LCD screen with it. Also, the second wheel to control your brightness, like we see with the more premium controllers with the Mavic 2, the second scrolling wheel. And of course, the controller would have been more expensive, but then it would have still been overall cheaper, producing more. Now, I believe that it's either DJI didn't plan to go all out with this one RC controller, or they basically didn't want to produce, and they didn't want to put all those premium features in that controller, because they like to hold back on features for the more premium drones. Either way, I just think that if DJI had plans on using that controller as the base one for a bunch of drones, they should have just went ahead, added the LCD screen and the extra wheel, and no one would have any problems right now. But again, like I said, I still think it was a great idea going with that base model, and going forward, I just hope they do this more in the future. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents on it. I would love to hear everybody have to say. Love to hear everybody chime in. But as always, y'all, and until next time.